Throughout human history, there have been legendary assholes. Many will be remembered. Hitler, Stalin, my stepdad Rick. But today, we honor the forgotten assholes of history.
The Catholic Church is certainly not a stranger to arseholes, and I'm not talking about altar boys, you filthy monsters. Countless terrible atrocities have been done in its name, from the Spanish Inquisition to Mel Gibson's The Passion of the Christ. But this story that I'm about to tell you really blows all that other bullshittery right out of the water just in terms of ballsiness and pure medieval psychopathy. So gather round, boys and girls, whilst I tell you the story of Pope Benedict IX. Okay, so this all started in 1032 AD. Benedict came from a powerful aristocratic family, and two of his uncles had been pope before him. So obviously when the previous pope died, his father just gave him the papacy, because apparently inheriting an ostensibly elected position was just a thing that you could do back then. Unlike today, obviously. Benedict was at this point 20 years old, but that doesn't really excuse his behavior, which was bad. Real bad. Pretty much as soon as he was anointed pope, Benedict IX set upon a fantastically extensive program of debauchery. He committed multiple rapes, adultery, and murder, and he held regular orgies in the papal palace, primarily with men. The scandal. It really is astonishing that in just 1,000 years, Christianity went from turn the other cheek to, oh, turn the other cheek. So anyway, this behaviour continued for 12 years when he was kicked out of Rome and a new pope was elected in his place. Now, I feel like at this point most people would say to themselves, oh, you know what, I'm 32, I've been living this crazy pope life for a while, maybe it's time to, settle down, see what it's like to have an orgy in the comfort of my own home. But our boy Benedict doesn't do this. No, instead he summons up an army and reclaims the papal palace. I sort of have this image of him walking through going, oh, I screwed on that chair, I screwed on that couch, screwed up in that windowsill. Oh, look, a new chaise lounge. Somebody bring me a nubile young body. So he just carries on like this for another year until he decided to straight up sell the papacy to his godfather. That is crazy. No other pope has ever sold his office, even the Medicis, and they for real had those rings with poison in them. And not only that, a year later, Benedict changed his mind and reclaimed Rome again. Honestly, who is even giving this kid an army? Eventually, the German king stepped in and replaced all three popes with Clement II, who died almost immediately. Benedict came back again and then was finally excommunicated. Now, obviously there's a lot going on here and nobody comes out of it looking super great, but for me, the real asshole in this story is the father who gave him the papacy in the first place. It's like that one awful rich kid at school who got a brand new BMW as soon as he passed his driving test. I mean, sure, technically he drove it drunk and then crashed it into a jumper, but he's really to blame when we get down to it. So peace be with you, Benedict IX, and may you never be forgotten as the pope that made the Nazi pope look good in comparison. Oh, his name was Benedict too. That's so much fun. Now, when you hear that a man named Kitchener invented concentration camps, you might assume that this guy was a big old Nazi German who was down with Hitler, especially when you get a look at his mustache. I mean, it just screams Übermensch. But actually, Kitchener was British.